Chapter 548 Blood Moon Holy Lord 4. Now that the Yunshao sect divine beast struck, it saved lots of effort for them. The elders and remaining disciples of Yunshao sect wore a proud expression when they saw their divine beast attacking. Their Yunshao sect's divine beast was extremely powerful. Even if another person at the level of a Blood Moon sect elder came, it would be no big deal. That divine beast cried fiercely and attacked the silver-haired man with its golden beak. Fear arose in the hearts of the Xianling sect masses at the sight. Xianling sect's golden formation was broken by the Yunshao sect divine beast beak. Who in this world could block an attack of the beak? However, the corners of the blood-colored long robe swayed, and the man's silver hair tousled in the air. An appalling scene played out in this world. There was no change in emotions in the silver-haired man's eyes while his face was still as cold as a glacier. Standing in midair silently, he slowly pointed out a finger towards that invincible beak. Boom! A frightening explosion erupted. In the next second, the sound of the explosion reverberated hundreds of miles around the area. Before everyone's eyes of disbelief, the silver-haired man used a finger and gently nipped the Yunshao sect divine beast's beak. Swoosh! The enormous body of the divine beast was flung several miles away instantly. Then, the Yunshao sect divine beast was rammed into an old mountain that was hundreds of meters tall. What followed right on the heels was a scene that rendered many speechless. The old mountain was crushed into pieces immediately, and countless of huge rocks fell like a rainstorm. The entire mountain turned into dust. The silver-haired man's expression was calm, and it was as though he had not done anything. At that instant, the scene was dead silent. It was as though everyone forgot to breathe, and only the faint throbbing of hearts could be heard. The smile on the Yunshao sect elders' faces froze completely before turning into expressions of indescribable horror and shock. Only Li Chunfeng shut his eyes as a look of suppression filled his face. Both Yuehua sect and Lingyun sect were overwhelmed with horror as they looked at that silver-haired man as if what happened was an illusion. Below in Xianling sect, the sect disciples were dumbfounded. Their lips twitched and mouths opened, but not a single word came out. Xianling sect master, Elder Mo, Elder Qin, and others were stunned and did not return to their senses for a long time. Yi Yu's expression changed immediately. The Yunshao sect divine beast was actually by that silver-haired man. Shock was written all over Yi Qingtang's face as she looked at the imposing figure that stood upright and tall before her. Holy Lord! The Blood Moon Elder was the first to return to his senses as he rushed over rapidly and knelt before the silver-haired man. We pay our respects to the Holy Lord. The Blood Moon Division head, Shua Tianzong, Blood Demon, and other branch masters greeted in unison with eyes filled with ardent worship as they knelt beside the silver-haired man, Blood Moon. He is the high-ranking executives of Yuehua sect and Lingyun sect were dumbfounded. Blood Moon sect supreme, Blood Moon Holy Lord. 1,000 years ago, when Blood Moon sect was attacked by the combined forces of hundreds of sects, the Blood Moon Holy Lord appeared at the last moment and swept the sects away by himself like a real god, making the powerful figures in the sects aware of the differences between a human and a god. Chapter 549 Blood Moon Holy Lady 1. That fear was deeply imprinted in their memories to the point that their descendants would have an unknown fear when they heard of the Blood Moon Holy Lord. If not for the ultimate elder's appearance in that battle, which impeded the Blood Moon Holy Lord, the hundreds of super sects would have probably been long destroyed by the Blood Moon Holy Lord's hands 1,000 years ago. What was a true god? One that ruled the world with a hand. What was a true god? One that killed everyone who went against him. What was a true god? One that ignited generations of fear. When hundreds of sects combined forces and revolted, he wanted to exterminate all of the sects. When no one in the world could accept him, he wanted to massacre everyone. It was he who once made the Blood Moon War drum resonate throughout the world. It was he who once let the Blood Moon War flag fly high in the sky. It was he who ruled the world in the name of the Blood Moon sect. Blood Moon Holy Lord. Yi Qingtang looked at the rather lonely back view of her cheapskate brother in shock. She originally thought that he was only an ardent worshipper of the Blood Moon sect who claimed to be the Blood Moon Holy Lord. Never would Yi Qingtang have thought that the cheapskate brother she picked up on her way back was really the Blood Moon Holy Lord. She did not think that this Blood Moon Holy Lord would be so honest. Even if it was anyone else, they would most likely not believe him as well. He is the Blood Moon Holy Lord. How can it be? The Blood Moon Holy Lord disappeared for 1,000 years. Why would he reappear in the world? Quickly escape. Quickly escape. Run. After a long while, the hundreds of people from the 3 super sects were finally sober. His long blaze-red robe swayed. Although there was only one person before them, he was the pillar of this world, and the gap between them and him was an eternally insurmountable gap. In the eyes of the Blood Moon Holy Lord, the so-called super sect was no different from an ant. In just an instant, hundreds of people fled in all directions. However, a blood-red screen enveloped the place, and those powerful figures from the super sects who initially fled away in a flurry froze completely. Yi Qingtang looked into the red screen, where those powerful figures were still like a frozen image. The Blood Moon Holy Lord's indifferent eyes landed on the Blood Moon Division head before him. Name? The Blood Moon Holy Lord asked coldly. Replying, Holy Lord, I am one of the 36 division heads, Jiang Chun. Jiang Chun was agitated, and his face flushed. The Blood Moon Holy Lord nodded. Why did you want to attack her? The Blood Moon Holy Lord said. Huh? Upon hearing that, Jiang Chun quivered, and immense fear filled him. I don't know her identity. She claimed to be a Blood Moon Guardian. Jiang Chun was extremely nervous. Guardian? The Blood Moon Holy Lord looked at Yi Qingtang immediately. You didn't tell me your identity. Yi Qingtang mumbled as she shifted her gaze away guiltily. The Blood Moon Holy Lord was emotionless. Didn't I? He seemed to have indeed said that he was the Blood Moon Holy Lord. However, the Blood Moon Holy Lord had disappeared for 1,000 years and was a legendary figure on this mainland. How would she believe that he would be so blunt and reveal his identity without any concealment? All this time, Yi Qingtang thought that her sworn brother was a Blood Moon sect fanatic and even thought to pull him back from astray one day. She would have never thought that he would actually be real. The Blood Moon Holy Lord's eyes were fixed on Yi Qingtang as though they could bewitch one's heart. Token, the Blood Moon Holy Lord said. Chapter 550 Blood Moon Holy Lady 2. What token? Yi Qingtang asked instinctively. Blood Moon Holy Lord stared at her. Suddenly, Yi Qingtang recalled that her sworn brother once passed her a blood token before he left. Is it this? Yi Qingtang took out the blood token from her space ring. After seeing the token in Yi Qingtang's hand, the expressions of Jiang Chun, Blood Demon, Shua Tianzong, and the rest changed immediately. That token was not any Blood Moon Guardian. It was, we pay our respects to the Holy Lady. Shua Tianzong said first. I offended Holy Lady by accident. Please have mercy on me. The Blood Moon Division head's face paled, and his body weakened. In the Blood Moon sect, the Blood Moon Holy Lady held a supreme position, and even the Blood Moon sect master was required to bow in respect when he saw the Holy Lady. However, Jiang Chun, Shua Tianzong, and the rest could not understand why a dignified Blood Moon Holy Lady would downgrade her identity and pretend to be a Blood Moon Guardian. What exactly did she do that for? Blood Moon Holy Lady? Yi Qingtang looked at the blood taken in her hand and pointed to herself instinctively. Me? The Blood Moon Holy Lord said indifferently. Me? Yi Qingtang thought she heard wrongly and asked again. Blood Moon Holy Lord stared at her with a blank expression. Yi Qingtang was rather confused, and she was in deep thought. That day, she saved a man who fell from the sky and then jokingly became sworn siblings with him and obtained a token. Immediately afterward, she became the Holy Lady of Blood Moon sect from a sect disciple. She really did not know if she should say that her luck was too amazing or that the Blood Moon Holy Lord was too casual and did anything he pleased. It was the dignified holy lady of a sect, but he just gave it to her so casually. At that very moment, Yi Qingtang suddenly understood why the Blood Moon Elder could reach his initial position. Was this Blood Moon Holy Lord so casual in appointing people? Holy Lady, as the Blood Moon Holy Lady, why did you pretend to be a Blood Moon Guardian? This, Zhang Chun felt that he simply could not understand the Blood Moon Holy Lady before him. She was clearly already handpicked by the Holy Lord to be the Holy Lady. Yet why did she still want to assume the identity of a Blood Moon Guardian? Even though the Yunxiao sect disciples pointed out Yi Qingtang's identity earlier on, the Blood Moon Holy Lord was present at the scene currently, and Zhang Chun naturally believed his Holy Lord unconditionally. What Xinling sect disciple or not? This was the Holy Lady of Blood Moon sect. Below, in Xinling sect, Elder Mo's mouth hung ajar. His disciple, Yi Qingtang, was Blood Moon sect's supreme Holy Lady. Xinling sect's sect master, Elder Mo, and everyone else were stupefied as well. For a moment, they stopped thinking normally. Their brains were completely blank. Their Xinling sect had a Blood Moon sect Holy Lady. The Blood Moon Holy Lady is my junior sister? Qin Huan looked at Feng Moli beside him with wide eyes. Feng Moli, am I dreaming? How about you give me a slap on my... Qin Huan said. Pow! As Qin Huan finished his sentence, Feng Moli slapped Qin Huan immediately. Feng Moli, you were for real? Qin Huan touched his burning cheeks. Reality had proven that he was not dreaming, but wasn't Feng Moli's slap a little too ruthless? Blood Moon sect's Holy Lady was really his junior sister. He was the Blood Moon Holy Lattice senior brother. My junior sister is the Blood Moon Holy Lady. I am the Blood Moon Holy Lattice senior brother, Qin Huan exclaimed. Similarly, Zhu Chang'e was very agitated and in disbelief. Chapter 551 Blood Moon Holy Lady 3. Suddenly, the Blood Moon sect did not appear to be so frightening as to how it was described in the rumors. Today, if the Blood Moon sect did not offer help, the Xinling sect might have been exterminated. The Blood Moon sect was exterminated by a few hundred super sects together 1,000 years ago, just because it was too powerful. It ruled the world, and every sect had to pay tribute to the Blood Moon sect every month. The young geniuses in the world all worshipped the Blood Moon sect. They wanted to join the Blood Moon sect to follow the Blood Moon Holy Lord. It was a huge honor to have a look at the Blood Moon Lord. That was the reason why the martial culture of the sects declined slowly. More and more geniuses refused to join sects, and the sects would fall eventually in the long run. In the end, a few hundred sects combined forces and decided to exterminate the Blood Moon sect. To this day, no one could say whether it was the Blood Moon sect that messed up the rules or the few hundreds of sects that messed up the orders of the world. The Blood Moon sect was called the Heretic sect for hundreds of years after it was exterminated. As the descendants who did not participate in the incident, no one knew the exact details. However, when everyone was still in shock, a thunder-like voice reverberated in the surroundings. Blood Moon Holy Lord, where are you going to run to now? As the voice was heard, a white-haired elder in a cloth gown appeared. Yi Qingtang was stunned as she saw the elder. She had met the elder a few days ago as well. When the Blood Moon Division head Zhang Chun and Shua Tianzong witnessed the elder clearly, they seemed to be facing their greatest enemy. The Ultimate Elder? Even the Blood Moon Holy Lord frowned. The Ultimate Elder waved his arm. An array of white light appeared in the sky, dashing towards the blood barrier. People of Yunxiao sect and Lingyun sect suddenly returned to normal at the same time. However, their memories seemed to remain at the moment when the Blood Moon Holy Lord appeared. Run! One of the Yunxiao sect elders shouted in fear. Yi Yu's face was cold, and she took a glimpse at Yi Qingtang unwillingly. She withdrew her sight when she saw the Blood Moon Holy Lord beside her. Hundreds of figures swiped through the sky and disappeared in the next second. What's the point of running away? The Ultimate Elder frowned and shouted. People of the 3 super sects had disappeared, and no one saw the appearance of the Ultimate Elder. A batch of cowards, the Ultimate Elder humphed. Are you done with chasing? The Blood Moon Holy Lord finally said something. Are you done with running? The Ultimate Elder smiled coldly. People of the Blood Moon sect stared at each other. No one dared to take a move without the words from the Holy Lord. Blood Moon Holy Lord, I stopped you from killing innocent people back then, and you wanted to kill me. You chased me for 500 years. You shouldn't forget about that, right? The Ultimate Elder said. Same for you, the Blood Moon Holy Lord said indifferently. It's lucky that I ran fast enough. If not, I would be killed by you. You misentered the Chi deviation 500 years ago as you cultivated the fiend's skills. You were not able to beat me anymore, and the wheel turned. From then on, I also chased you for 500 years. To be fair, you run faster than me back then, the Ultimate Elder said. Yi Qingtang was shocked by what she just heard. The Blood Moon Holy Lord and the Ultimate Elder disappeared for 1,000 years. And that was the reason the two legends on this piece of land chased each other for 500 years respectively. This was another kind of romance. Chapter 552 Replenish for Prosperity 1. Today, I will kill you anyway to benefit the world. The Ultimate Elder's eyes flickered. He smashed his palm down towards the Blood Moon Holy Lord without any sign. Just the force of the palm seemed to be able to shake the entire earth. However, the Blood Moon Holy Lord did not bother to fight against him. He faded into the void and disappeared. Blood Moon Holy Lord, you cultivated the recurrent fiend skills, and that led to the development of the mental demons. If you still choose to run away, it will accelerate the development of your mental demons, and then they'll see whether you really enter the rebirth cycle. The Ultimate Elder gritted his teeth as the Blood Moon Holy Lord ran away again. He immediately chased after him. Holy Lord! The Blood Moon Division head and the rest were shocked. Yi Qingtang blocked their way when they were about to follow up. Holy Lady! The Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun felt perplexed. Even the Blood Moon Holy Lord is not able to fight against the Ultimate Elder. Are you going to sacrifice yourself for no reason if you follow up? Yi Qingtang said coldly. But Shua Tianzong and Soul-Severing Troll knew that Yi Qingtang's words were reasonable, but they could not be relieved. The Ultimate Elder had chased the Blood Moon Holy Lord for 500 years and did not succeed. Do you think he will succeed this time? Yi Qingtang said as she saw how disturbed the people of the Blood Moon sect were. Without giving them any chance to say anything again, Yi Qingtang waved her hand and said, You should leave now. Holy Lady, but the Blood Moon Division head still wanted to say something. There's no buts. I order you, as the Blood Moon Holy Lady, leave now. Yi Qingtang frowned. The super sects would return soon when they sensed the breath that the Ultimate Elder left. People of the Blood Moon sect would not have the chance to leave alive then. Yes. The Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun had to listen to the order together with other branch masters. Master, Grand Elder, please pack up and leave with me and the Blood Moon sect. Yi Qingtang said and looked towards Elder Mo and the rest in the Xianling sect. However, the Grand Elder shook his head and sighed. Qingtang, look at those disciples. Yi Qingtang scanned around, and there were more than a few hundred disciples with severe injuries. They treated the Xianling sect as their home and decided to stay to protect our sect. They are injured severely, and they will definitely die if there is no treatment given to them. As the Grand Elder of the sect, how can I leave my family for my own safety? The Grand Elder sighed again. Elder Mo and the rest also shook their head upon hearing the Grand Elder's words. Though they would survive if they left with Yi Qingtang, what could the disciples do? As the higher-ups of the sect, how could they leave the disciples here and escape? Before Yi Qingtang could say anything, there were few hundreds of strong breaths approaching. It's the three super sects. They sense the remaining breath of the Ultimate Elder and are coming back. The Blood Demons said, Holy Lady, can you pass me your token? Said a Blood Moon branch master who was an expert in array formation. Yi Qingtang did not hesitate and gave him the blood token. Holy Lady, there is the divine power of the Holy Lord left in the token. I can use the divine power to create a barrier outside the Xianling sect. That way, No one will be able to enter the Xianling sect from outside, but people of Xianling sect can go out any time, the elder said. Oh! Yi Qingtang was stunned slightly. So there was the Blood Moon Holy Lord's divine power left in the token. I hope all readers enjoyed the mass release, slightly smiling face. Chapter 553 Replenish for Prosperity 2. However, the token will not be able to prove your identity as the Holy Lady after the power is used. Only our division will know. If you want to command the other division with this token, they may not trust you. The elder explained his concern. Her identity as the Blood Moon Holy Lady was only known by this division. Other divisions were not clear about that. That doesn't matter. Without the identity as the Holy Lady, I can disguise as the Guardian or the Elder as well. Yi Qingtang waved her hand. The lips of the Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun and the Blood Demon shivered slightly as they heard what Yi Qingtang said. She was the superior Holy Lady of the Blood Moon sect, and she had to lower herself to disguise as the Guardian and the Elder. Since the Holy Lady approves, I shall obey your command. The elder lowered his head and created some kind of markings with his palms to force out the Holy Lord's divine power in the token. Swoosh! A ray of blood-red luster came out of the token and surrounded the entire Xianling sect instantly. People of Xianling sect, this barrier can only be broken by the ultimate elder and the Blood Moon Holy Lord. However, the divine power inside can only last for half a year. You should never leave the barrier. Once any of you leaves, it's impossible to return, the elder said. Thank you so much. Elder Mo greeted with cupped fists. Xianling sect will never forget the favor from the Blood Moon sect. Elder Qin also said, thank you for giving us half a year to replenish. The Xianling sect master's eyes were filled with joy. The resources in the sect were enough for all the disciples for half a year. Those injured disciples had hope now. I shall leave with junior brother Mo then, Ji Xuan said towards the Grand Elder. Okay. The Grand Elder nodded. Ji Xuan and Mo Changkong were disciples of the Falling Sky Valley in the Nine Knights dynasty. Apparently, they could not stay in the Xianling sect. Furthermore, the Falling Sky Valley was not in good terms with the super sects of the formidable Heavens dynasty. It would be too late for them to leave once the super sects arrived. Holy Lady, I owe you 2 favors now, and I will never forget them. If there is anything I can help with in future, please ask. I will do anything for you. Ji Xuan flew towards Yi Qingtang and said with cupped fists. It's all right, Yi Qingtang said. She heard more than once from Master in her previous life that Ji Xuan was boring but honest and frank. He would never forget any favor, nor any grudges. Junior sister, Holy Lady. Mo Changkong looked at Yi Qingtang with a complex expression. From the letters between him and his father, Elder Mo, he knew about Yi Qingtang long ago. Elder Mo's letter was full of pride and fondness towards Yi Qingtang. However, he did not expect that Yi Qingtang would be the Holy Lady of the Blood Moon sect. He did not know whether Yi Qingtang, as the Blood Moon Holy Lady, would admit him as her senior brother, as they had never met before. Senior brother Mo, we'll see each other again. Yi Qingtang smiled. The complex expression on Mo Changkong's face was replaced with joy upon hearing Yi Qingtang addressing him as senior brother. All right. I have never imagined that I would be the senior brother of the Blood Moon Holy Lady. It seems like I will have some connections with the Blood Moon sect as well in the future. Chapter 554 Replenish for Prosperity 3. There were plenty of rumors about the Blood Moon sect, but people had never seen them before. Now, the Xianling sect avoided the calamity due to the Blood Moon sect's help. They started to neglect the rumors of the Blood Moon sect slowly. Ji Xuan and Mo Changkong looked at somewhere far away. The strong breaths of the hundreds of people were very close now. Junior sister, I shall leave with senior brother Ji now. I believe we'll meet again, as what you said, Mo Changkong said. Take care, Yi Qingtang said. Take care as well. Mo Changkong folded his fists. Lady Yi, I'm looking forward to meeting you again, Ji Xuan said. He then disappeared with Mo Changkong. Yi Qingtang looked towards the Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun and said, "You should leave soon." Us? The Blood Moon Division head was confused. "Holy Lady, aren't you leaving with us?" Shuo Tianzong asked in confusion, as Yi Qingtang did not seem to retreat. Yi Qingtang pondered as she had more important things to do. It would not be easy for her to get the Black Heaven water from the mystic realm based on the current condition of Xianling's sect. The array formation that Xianling's sect had used to protect the mystic realm was broken during the fight. The mystic realm did not belong to Xianling's sect anymore. Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect, especially the super sects, would definitely rush inside and claim their ownership. Wuxia world. Sichuanling sect's mystic realm was the source of inheritance. Normally, no one could enter besides Xianling's sect. But now, the situation was different. The Black Heaven water could help her spirit root to level up, and that was her initial intention to enter Xianling's sect. Now, she must get the Black Heaven water. No matter what happened, she needed to reach the mystic realm in order to get the Black Heaven water. Holy ladies. The Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun called out to Yi Qingtang slightly as she remained silent. Yi Qingtang then pulled herself out of her thoughts and looked at Jiang Chun and the rest. "I will not follow you." She made her decision. Huh. Jiang Chun was shocked. If anything happened to the Blood Moon Holy Lady, how could they face the sect master and the Holy Lord in future? Of course, the Blood Moon Holy Lord might just punish them according to the sect rules. However, Yi Qingtang had her own plans. Getting the Black Heaven water was just the first step. After that, she needed to go to the Nine Knights dynasty to find out her parentage. She did not have much time. The Xianling sect was safe for now, but after half a year, the barrier would be useless, and the calamity would arrive again. The Yunxiao sect would never let go of the Xianling sect due to the secrets they knew. Yi Qingtang only had half a year's time. She needed to increase her ability to the level of an Yin-Yang True Lord within half a year. If not, Holy Lady, you should leave with us. How can we allow you to risk your life in the world? The Blood Moon Division head tried to convince Yi Qingtang with valid reasons so that she could return to the division with them. Yi Qingtang thought about that before. The remote place was full of dead breath. There was no vitality at all. People of the Blood Moon sect could refine the dead breath to restore their strength, but she could not. It would be a waste of time for her to go to the remote place. "Don't say anything anymore. I have made my mind," Yi Qingtang said. Jiang Chun sighed as his holy lady insisted. Chapter 555 Replenish for Prosperity 4. Since the Holy Lord had disappeared, the orders from the Holy Lady were a must to obey. As the Blood Moon Division head, Jiang Chun had no authority to force the Holy Lady to leave with them. He had to go according to her plan. "Shuo Tianzong, you shall follow the Holy Lady in the future to ensure her safety." The Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun looked at Shuo Tianzong after a while. "That's not necessary." Yi Qingtang shook her head. Shuo Tianzong was indeed strong, but as the Blood Moon sect branch master, he would be needed by the division. Furthermore, she got too many things to settle. It would be inconvenient for him to follow her. Shuo Tianzong appeared to be depressed when Yi Qingtang rejected the offer. It would be a great honor for him to be able to follow the Blood Moon Holy Lady. "I shall not insist since Holy Lady has already made her mind," Jiang Chun said respectfully. After a short while, the Blood Moon Division head Jiang Chun waved his hand at Yi Qingtang and led everyone back. The 8 scarlet demonic beasts pulled the huge blood-colored carriage and disappeared gradually. When the people of the Blood Moon sect were leaving, there was another figure that was trying to sneak away. "You, where do you want to go?" Yi Qingtang smashed her palm down as the Blood Moon Elder was sneaking his way out. Pow! Yi Qingtang's palm landed heavily on the Blood Moon Elder's left shoulder. The Blood Moon Elder shivered and turned over immediately. He forced out an awkward smile and said, Holy Lady, do you still have any orders to give?" Yi Qingtang sized up the Blood Moon Elder in front of her. She appeared to be full of interest and said, "Weren't you always thinking about when you could finally kill me with one move?" How could she not know the plans that the Blood Moon Elder had all the time? The revolving soul orb that he gave her previously must be part of his plan to kill her. However, the revolving soul orb fell into Elder Lin's hand by chance, and he was the one that took the full blast of the explosion. If not, she would be dead from the explosion of the revolving soul orb. The Blood Moon Elder's body trembled, and he almost fell to the ground upon hearing her words. The Blood Moon Elder pretended to comply the day when Yi Qingtang forced her to sign the contract, but he never stopped planning to kill her one day from that moment. However, the Yi Qingtang back then was just a Xianling sect disciple. Now, she was the Blood Moon Holy Lady. He would never dare to have the same thoughts in the past anymore. Ha, ha, ha. Holy Lady, I don't understand what you mean. The respect I have for you is heavier than the stretch of mountains, deeper than the ocean, higher than the giants. Yi Qingtang waved her hand in disgust to stop him from nagging and spurting out saliva. The change in attitude was so fast, and so did his skill of saying nonsense improve. It seemed like he deserved more than the position as the Blood Moon Elder based on his abilities. He could even be a guardian. My infatuation towards Holy Lady can be proved by the sun and the moon, by the heaven and the earth. Cold sweat started to appear on the Blood Moon Elder's forehead. Infatuation? Yi Qingtang frowned and showed an odd expression. No, 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 my loyalty. The Blood Moon Elder changed his wording immediately. Loyalty? Yi Qingtang squinted her eyes. Chapter 556. We will meet again someday. 1. No, no, no. It's not infatuation nor loyalty. The Blood Moon Elder was soaked in cold sweat, and his thoughts were rather jumbled. As he thought of his disrespect towards the Blood Moon Holy Lady, even if he had 1,000,000 heads and they were all chopped off, it would not be enough to redeem himself. Fear intensified within him, and in addition to being glared at by Yi Qingtang, he trembled continuously, and his mind was blank. It's what the heart thinks. All our hearts become one. Do what the heart wants. 2 hearts beat as one. Yi Qingtang stared at him, startled. Did this old fellow lose his mind? I think you are working your heart out while your heart is startled. You shaking with fear means that you have a guilty conscience. Yi Qingtang was completely amused by the Blood Moon Elder. Holy Lady, have mercy, Holy Lady. The Blood Moon Elder's face turned white in an instant. Did you want to say a heart of sincerity? Yi Qingtang had a teasing expression. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. The Blood Moon Elder slapped his thigh and nodded continuously. Holy Lady is right. It is a heart of sincerity. The heart of sincerity I have towards Holy Lady can be appraised by heaven and earth, the sun and moon. Before Blood Moon Elder finished speaking, Yi Qingtang waved a hand again and interrupted him as she stared at the Blood Moon Elder in curiosity. How exactly did you reach the position of the Blood Moon Elder? I don't know either. Puzzlement filled the Blood Moon Elder's face. Although I also felt that I could become a Blood Moon Guardian with my skills back then, the Blood Moon Holy Lord did not pay me any attention, so I could only be an elder. Finally, Yi Qingtang gave the Blood Moon Elder, who was close to losing his mind, a big thumbs up. You've won. In Xianling sect, Elder Mo and Elder Qin looked at each other. Wasn't that Blood Moon Elder their Xianling sect disciple, Zhou Chu? But thinking about it carefully, if Yi Qingtang could become a Blood Moon Holy Lady, there seemed to be nothing strange if Zhou Chu was the Blood Moon Elder. Although Xianling sect feared the resurrection of Blood Moon sect due to the rumors previously, thinking about it now, Yi Qingtang did not do anything to harm Xianling sect, and even led the Blood Moon sect members here today, which prevented the tragedy of Xianling sect's annihilation. To the Xianling sect masses, the words Blood Moon sect were no longer frightening as before. Rather, Yunshao sect, whom they had always revered, wanted to massacre them. After this battle, the distinction between the righteous and the evil blurred in their hearts. What exactly was righteous? And what was evil? The Blood Moon sect had countless terrifying rumors, but how many of them were started by the various super sects? The credibility of these rumors. Qingtang, why aren't you fleeing yet? Once more people from Yunshao sect come, you will not be able to flee anymore. The Grand Elder shouted to Yi Qingtang. Qingtang, don't worry about us. Lingyun sect and Yuehua sect are reasonable sections. With the support of this array formation, Yunxiao sect cannot do anything to Xianling sect. Elder Mo looked at Yi Qingtang and said, although Lingyun sect and Yuehua sect were known to be super sects, just like Yunxiao sect, they were much more upright and honorable than Yunxiao sect. At least, Lingyun sect and Yuehua sect had no scandals of allowing the sect disciples to snatch other spirit roots. With the appearance of Yuehua sect and Lingyun sect currently, Yunxiao sect would probably be suppressed by them from then on once they learned of the reason behind Yunxiao sect's decision to annihilate Xianling sect. Even if Yunxiao sect wanted to do anything, they had to relatively exercise more restraint. Junior Sister Yi, don't worry about us. Qin Huan, Zhu Chang'e, and other sect disciples shouted as well. Chapter 557, we will meet again someday, too. All right. Take care, everyone. Yi Qingtang nodded. She was aware of it as well. Although there was a huge difference between today's battle and what she imagined, at least the outcome was still not that bad, and Xianling sect was temporarily saved. After sensing that the powerful aura of the three super sects was nearing, Yi Qingtang bade Elder Mo and everyone else goodbye before disappearing along with the Blood Moon Elder. Currently, Xianling sect was protected by the divine power of the Blood Moon Holy Lord and was extremely safe. Thus, there was no need to worry. On the contrary, Yi Qingtang offended Yunxiao sect completely. All of this, though, was Yi Qingtang's plan. Back when Xianling sect had no other ways to survive, Yi Qingtang could only use herself to attract Yunxiao sect's grudge. Although it might not have worked, this method was all she could think of initially. However, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder did not go far away. They held their breaths and observed in a hidden corner. In just a while, the three super sects returned. Hundreds of people stood in the air above Xianling sect and scanned the surroundings. Where's the ultimate elder? Yuehua sect's sect master was puzzled. After leaving just now, he suddenly felt the ultimate elder's aura and knew that the ultimate elder was attracted over because of the Blood Moon Holy Lord's appearance. Although the Blood Moon Holy Lord was extremely powerful and unrivaled, the ultimate elder could pin him down. Thus, they no longer had anything to be afraid of. After returning, everyone realized that the Blood Moon sect members and Blood Moon Holy Lord had already disappeared. There was no trace of even the ultimate elder. It must be that after the ultimate elder appeared, he was locked in a battle with the Blood Moon Holy Lord. For powerful figures of that level, a battle would extend for thousands of miles. I guess we don't even know where they've battled to now, the Lingyun sect master opined after a deep thought. I never thought that the Blood Moon Holy Lord who has disappeared for 1,000 years would suddenly appear. Even the ultimate elder appeared as well. Today is really the Yuehua sect master side. However, the Yunxiao sect elders, including Li Chunfeng, did not look too good. That Blood Moon Holy Lord inflicted heavy injuries to their Yunxiao sect's divine beast with just a strike, and the divine beast was still unconscious now. Originally, from Yunxiao sect's calculation, annihilating Xianling sect could be easily done. However, unexpectedly, not only was Xianling sect not annihilated, Yunxiao sect suffered heavy losses instead. Xianling sect? Very quickly, the Lingyun sect master looked at the barrier protecting Xianling sect and could not help but comment. Xianling sect's heritage is indeed pretty powerful. The power of this barrier is extremely frightening, and there's simply no way of breaking it. I still heard that the Xianling patriarch appeared earlier. We have been belittling Xianling sect all this while, Yuehua sect master said as well. The three sects were unaware that the place was enshrouded in the Blood Moon Holy Lord's divine power and merely thought that Xianling sect's heritage was profound. The Yuehua sect masters switched the conversation to another subject quickly and looked at Li Chunfeng. Why did you, Yunxiao sect, come to annihilate Xianling sect for no reason? The other two sects heard rumors that Yunxiao sect wanted to annihilate Xianling sect and were a little curious. After all, Xinling sect was only an ordinary sect. What reason would Yunxiao sect exterminate it for? It was, however, that they did not pay much attention to this matter and came here today only because of Blood Moon sect's appearance. Nonetheless, since they were there, they might as well voice their questions. After hearing that, Li Qinfeng and the other Yunxiao sect elders frowned instantly, and rather abnormal expressions appeared on their faces. They placed their sect disciples in different sects and snatched the spirit roots of other sects' disciples. Elder Mo replied, "What?" After hearing the words, the expressions of the high-ranking executives in Yuehua sect and Lingyun's sect changed immediately. Snatching other spirit root was a martial Dao taboo. It was regarded as shameless by everyone in the world. After we discovered this scandal, Yunxiao sect came to silence us. Xinling sect master replied, "Rubbish." A Yunxiao sect elder scoffed, "You all must not believe these cunning people. How would our Yunxiao sect commit such an evil act?" Both Yuehua sect and Lingyun sect were in thought. Previously, they had already found the excuse that Yunxiao sect used to annihilate Xinling sect a little superficial. After listening to Xinling sect's argument, it did not seem like a lie either. Otherwise, why would Yunxiao sect bring such a large army and even deploy the divine beast just to get an explanation from a disciple? Chapter 559, we will meet again someday, for they could not only believe Xinling sect completely as well, since no one had any evidence after all. Moreover, Yunxiao sect and Xinling sect were enemies, and the words of Xinling sect disciples might contain some slander. This is a private issue between Yunxiao sect and Xinling sect and has nothing to do with us. However, it better be that Xinling sect is talking nonsense. If Yunxiao sect is truly like what Xinling sect said, the Lingyun sect master sneered and stopped his sentence there. Before Li Qinfeng could explain, a shadow suddenly fell on the place. Almost instinctively, everyone gazed up in the air. A giant battleship floated in midair, where a man in white stood in it. Antiquity Palace? That person is Antiquity Palace's emissary, Mu Su. The three sects were extremely astonished. The Antiquity Palace was similar to the Blood Moon sect, except that the Blood Moon sect was evil, while the Antiquity Palace was the leader of the righteous. Furthermore, the Antiquity Palace did not gather followers like the Blood Moon sect, and its palace lord was all the more mysterious. His skills were profound and unfathomable, and he rarely appeared before people. Including the people present in Xinling sect, everyone guessed that the Antiquity Palace's appearance was probably related to the Blood Moon sect. Standing on the battleship, Musu swept a glance over the area below him. He had already reached here a long time ago and originally intended to bring Yiqingtang away. Yet unexpectedly, the Blood Moon Holy Lord suddenly appeared. Thus, he did not dare to casually appear. What Musu never expected was Yiqingtang actually becoming the Blood Moon Holy Lady. How was he going to mention it to His Highness when he returned? Lord Musu, Xinling sect was speaking nonsense just now. Please do not believe it. Li Qinfeng's brows were tightly furrowed, as he did not know whether Musu heard what the Xinling sect elders had said. However, Musu vanished quickly without uttering a word. Once the Antiquity Palace's battleship was gone, Li Qinfeng finally sighed in relief. He immediately looked at Xinling sect with coldness filled in his eyes. This Xinling sect has to be gotten rid of? Allowing them to live in this world is not a good thing to Yunxiao sect. However, it was difficult to break the barrier above Xinling sect, and this troubled him greatly. The sect protector divine beast was heavily injured and still required time to recuperate once it returned to the sect. There was simply no way it could continue to battle in a short time. Without the divine beast, it would be difficult to break Xinling sect's barrier. As Li Qinfeng stared at the barrier, a slightly odd feeling arose in his heart. If Xinling sect executed this barrier from the start, it would have probably been impossible for them to charge in. However, things had already reached this point, and Li Chunfeng did not continue to think further. At that instant, in a hidden corner, after seeing Mu Su passing by there, Yi Qingtang initially thought that the Antiquity Palace, as the leader of the righteous path, was there to rescue Xianling's sect from the misery, but she ultimately realized that she was overthinking. "Holy Lady, let's go. We must not let Yinxiao's sect find us," the Blood Moon Elder said softly. "Let's go." Yi Qingtang agreed, and the two of them disappeared. Not long later, both Lingyun's sect and Yuehua's sect left successively, while Yunxiao's sect secretly ordered people to watch Xianling's sect. Although they could not enter the barrier, the Xianling sect people could leave the barrier. If they did not watch Xianling's sect, all of the Xianling sect masses would escape before long. It was Li Chenfeng's excessive worry this time. Many disciples in Xianling's sect were heavily injured and had to continue to be treated. Before those disciples recovered, the Xianling sect masses would naturally not go anywhere. Chapter 560A Story 1. Within the barrier, Qin Huan, Zhu Chang'e, Yin Shu, and other disciples, even Feng Moli, followed Qin Huan and insulted Yunxiao's sect loudly, which invigorated them. On the contrary, the expressions of the Yunxiao sect disciples were extremely ugly, and they died to tear the Xianling sect disciples into pieces. Yet, they were helpless. On that day, the Yunxiao sect master was enraged after learning of what happened. Not only was Xianling's sect not annihilated, they instead let Yuehua sect and Lingyun's sect learn about the matter, and even the divine beast was heavily injured. Li Chunfeng was in a bad mood after being reprimanded by the sect master. If Yi Qingtang had not pretended to be a Blood Moon guardian and lead the Blood Moon sect masses there, Yunxiao's sect directly placed Yi Qingtang in the assassination role, and the reward even surpassed that of the first person on the assassination roll. Whoever captured Yi Qingtang alive could select any Dharma treasure in Yunxiao's sect. Many Yunxiao sect elite disciples viewed Yi Qingtang as prey and were eager to give it a try. This was a chance where they could achieve instant success. In the dark night, outside a pavilion in Yunxiao's sect, the candlelight in the room shone brightly and emitted a faint aroma. Ning Luo was dressed in white with a chessboard before him. As Ning Luo held a chess piece, an unknown smile hung on his lips. A mysterious person who was wrapped in a black robe all over sat on the other side of the chessboard. "This piece is still alive," Ning Luo chuckled softly. The black-robed man did not respond, seeming to be fully focused on playing chess. This group of Yunxiao sect mobs was of great help. The corners of Ning Luo's lips curled up slightly. "The plan is brought forward because of Yi Qingtang. This does not matter, though. Everything is under control." A deep voice sounded from the black robe. "Only when this game of chess is full of variables would it be exciting, and only as such would we, chess players, be even more serious," Ning Luo said. As he said that, a smile that sent shudders could be seen on Ning Luo's face as he glimpsed at the door. "Senior Brother Zhua, after hiding outside my door and listening for such a long time, why don't you come on in?" Ning Luo's emotionless voice sounded. Immediately, Senior Brother Zhua's expression changed drastically. This Senior Brother Zhua was the Yunxiao sect intersect disciple who first rescued Ning Luo away. He initially came today to find Ning Luo to talk about assassinating Yi Qingtang. After all, Ning Luo hid in Xianling's sect for a long time and should have some understanding towards Yi Qingtang's abilities. Yet, unexpectedly, there was actually an outsider in Ning Luo's room, and the two of them seemed to be secretly plotting something. Seeing that Ning Luo discovered him, Senior Brother Zhua's expression changed, and he left immediately. He must notify this matter to Holy Lady Yiyu and the sect master. "Ah!" Ning Luo sighed. "You came without greeting and left without bidding goodbye. What did you treat my place as?" Afterward, as Ning Luo focused on the chessboard, his right palm stretched forward slightly. In an instant, a strange light erupted from Ning Luo's palm. Outside the door, Senior Brother Zhuo was overwhelmed with horror. He could not control his body and floated into Ning Luo's room. In just 2 breaths, Senior Brother Zhuo was grabbed by his throat by Ning Luo. However, Ning Luo never batted him an eye and smiled at the black-robed man. "It's your turn." The black-robed man treated senior brother Zhua as non-existent and focused on the chess game. Junior brother Ning Luo. What? What exactly are you? Senior brother Zhua was shocked. From his memory, Ning Luo's skills could only be considered ordinary amongst the Yunxiao sect inner sect disciples. Yet unexpectedly, senior brother Zhua, Ning Luo said softly and interrupted him. "Since you came to my residence as part of playing the host, let me tell you a story." Ignoring senior brother Zhua's struggles, Ning Luo said as he played chess with the black-robed man, "A long, long time ago, a true god descended from the heavens to the mortal realm. When she saw the infertile land, sympathy arose within her, and thus she scattered her divine power to every corner of the world, letting those pitiful people see a trace of hope and a ray of light." Senior brother Zhua was shocked. He neither knew what Ning Luo was talking about, nor did he want to listen to his crazy words. All he wanted to do was to escape this bind and leave this place. However, Ning Luo's hand was as firm as a steel cage and barely moved an inch. At that moment, Ning Luo's story did not end. As the true god arrived, those once pitiful humans worshipped her and constructed a shrine where they viewed her as a faith. From then on, the power of faith was born in this world. However, as time passed, what the true god could offer to them was less and less. When he reached there, Ning Luo's eyes were completely cold, and his talking speed increased. Humans began to resent the true god. They began to think that she was no longer compassionate and no longer deserved to have a shrine. Ultimately, selfishness and greed bred in their hearts. They destroyed the shrine and the faith. Then, they combined forces to kill the true god and dissected her body to greedily suck the last trace of divine power in her body. Suddenly, the chessboard under the black-robed man crumbled, and the chess pieces scattered all over the floor. Ning Luo's expression returned to normal, and his eyes were indifferent as he looked at senior brother Zhua. Senior brother Zhua. The true god offered her everything selflessly and exhausted all her divine power to bless the mortal world. Humans were not grateful and even sucked dry the last bit of divine power in the true god's body by cutting her up and consuming her flesh. In your opinion, is it cruel? Since that's the case, why must the true god be compassionate to these humans? They must ultimately pay a terrible price for their ugly actions. You are a lunatic. What exactly are you talking about? Let me go. Senior brother Zhua felt like he was almost suffocated under Ning Luo's strangle. What true god? I don't know. Ning Luo. This place is Yunxiao sect. You better let me go. On account that you are my junior brother, I will definitely not spread this out. Ning Luo did not have any reaction at all. Fearful, senior brother Zhua could not help but be submissive. Clack! In the next second, the sound of crushed bones rang. Thud! Ning Luo released his hands, and senior brother Zhua collapsed on the ground powerlessly. His neck was already snapped, and he was no longer breathing. Very quickly, senior brother Zhua's body was covered with a layer of ice, which subsequently cracked and turned broken shards. It was as though senior brother Zhua never existed in this world. When is the mystic realm opening? Ning Luo looked at the black-robed man. In half a month? A deep voice sounded from the black robe. I'm really looking forward to the arrival of that day. Ning Luo walked to the window with his hands behind him. The smile on his lips never disappeared. I'll take a leave first. The black-robed man rose slowly and turned into a ball of black fog in the pavilion before eventually vanishing without a trace. At that moment, only Ning Luo's lonely back view remained. He lifted his head slightly and gazed at the full moon outside the window. Under the moonlight, Ning Luo stood by the window in a white top, and a faint smile hung on his lips. However, tears of blood streaked across the rim of his eyes. The next morning, outside a mountain range in formidable Heaven's dynasty. In the forest on the mountains, a fine gentleman in white held a folding fan and was walking slowly. His eyes glanced behind him discreetly. Behind him, however, followed a big burly lady whose face could be said to be hideous. The man in white was extremely handsome, and a seeming smile could be seen on his face. The slightly curled corners of his lips added a devilish charm to his almost flawless face. On the other hand, the lady behind the beautiful man was in a floral dress and had a blindingly big red flower on her head. They walked one after another, but the image was completely different. That exceptionally Herculean lady looked miserably at the beautiful teenager walking before her and instinctively wanted to stretch out her right hand to pluck the big red flower off from her head. Holy lady, this disguise, I'm afraid it's not too suitable. Who could have thought that the lady who was dressed so gorgeously would actually be a dignified elder from the Blood Moon sect? Don't move! The beautiful teenager stopped him. Yes, helpless, the Blood Moon elder could only obey with tears in his eyes. Look, you're much prettier like this, Yi-Ching-Tang said with a smile. Yi-Ching-Tang was originally beautiful, and even with a male disguise on, she appeared less dainty and more handsome. If they were not in this deserted mountain range, one would not know how many young ladies would be enchanted by that attractive face that stirred hearts. Rather, it was the Blood Moon elder who was full of tears at that instant. To think his original body had a handsome appearance and outstanding bearing. Since seizing Zhou Chu's body, he was already a little uncomfortable with his appearance. Never would the Blood Moon elder have thought that the holy lady would actually dress him up as a woman, with Zhou Chu's face, which part of it looked like a woman. After the war in Xinling's sect, Yi-Ching-Tang was listed in the assassination roll, and the reward for her surpassed the number one person on the assassination roll by multiple times. If she did not disguise herself and was recognized, the consequences would be disastrous. Yunxiao's sect alone was already difficult to handle, much less those powerful figures who were prepared to assassinate Yi-Ching-Tang to obtain the rewards. Holy lady, how about I return to the wilderness? The Blood Moon elder inched closer to Yi-Ching-Tang and was full of smiles to please her. However, the Blood Moon elder who was disguised as a lady was already ugly, and the smile on his face was simply an unbearable sight. What do you think? Yi-Ching-Tang raised a brow slightly as she looked at the Blood Moon elder with a seeming smile. Holy lady, my current skills have just entered the early stage of martial chi level 2. It'll only hinder you if I follow beside you. The Blood Moon elder expressed his opinion. This time, the Blood Moon elder's words were reasonable. Yi-Ching-Tang's martial cultivation had already entered the mid-stage of third heaven of martial chi level 2, and she possessed the ultimate origin skill. Even if she met someone who was at the peak of first heaven of martial chi level 3, she could put up some fight. With the Blood Moon elder following beside her, it was indeed a little hindering. It can't be that you're afraid and wish to leave me, can it? Yi-Ching-Tang smiled. No. You must not put it that way, holy lady. It is my greatest honor to be able to follow beside you. The Blood Moon elder's expression changed, and he hurriedly explained. Since that's the case, then cut the crap. Yi-Ching-Tang shot the Blood Moon elder a look. After signing the contract with her, this old fellow did not do anything good. He had always wanted to escape from her, though she caught him red-handed every time. It's naturally great to stay beside you. However, is it possible to change my disguise? The Blood Moon elder truly could not bear his current appearance. To think that he was also a top figure 1,000 years ago, there's no need. It's pretty good just like this. Yi-Ching-Tang shook her head. All right. The Blood Moon elder piled smiles on his face, but it seemed way uglier than crying. The two of them circled outside the mountain range for a long time, but realized that quite a number of powerful figures from formidable Heaven's dynasty had already entered. Apart from the super sects Yunxiao sect, Yuehua sect, and Lingyun sect, there were ordinary sects like Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect, and even the main ruling formidable Heavens Royals. The formidable Heavens Royals was formed by various small and large nations. Although they were all called the Formidable Heavens royal family, the main ruling royals were above other nations and were the true overlords of Formidable Heavens dynasty. Falling Sky Valley's people. Yi Qingtang's eyes were fixed ahead where a line of Falling Sky Valley disciples silently entered the mountain range. It's not simple. The Blood Moon Elder suddenly leaned close and had a serious expression. Holy Lady, almost the entire world knows that Xianling sect's mystic realm has become an ownerless mystic realm. That is a place of inheritance with a sect's heritage that goes as far as thousands of years. Once it becomes an ownerless mystic realm, it will definitely attract thousands of powerful figures. In my opinion, it's better if we don't go to this mystic realm. To all forces, mystic realms were extremely tempting. The mystic realm that originally belonged to Xianling's sect became a gold mine without an owner because Xianling's sect was trapped, and it was without doubt that all the forces would not let go of such a good opportunity. After hearing the Blood Moon Elder's words, Yi Qingtang was in deep thought. After Xianling's sect was ruined, the mystic realm's array formation was broken and became an ownerless mystic realm, which had plenty of destinies and inheritance. Hence, those powerful figures naturally flooded in once they gained news of it. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder disguised themselves exactly because they wanted to enter this ownerless mystic realm. Yi Qingtang had already speculated earlier on that there would definitely be people from the super sects who would enter the mystic realm, but did not think that this many forces would appear. Apart from the righteous forces, Yi Qingtang even saw a number of forces from evil sections. Strange, Yi Qingtang's brows were furrowed slightly. Xianling's sect was, after all, a small sect. Although a mystic realm owned solely by a sect had many inheritances and destinies, it was not to the extent to attract so many powerful figures, such that even people from Falling Sky Valley did not hesitate to take the risk and enter Formidable Heavens dynasty. The risks and gains were simply disproportional. What exactly did they do it for? At that instant, a row of young people walked towards them from afar. The person in the lead was a stunningly beautiful young lady who appeared to be around 17 or 18 years old. Behind the lady followed several males who were all donned in luxurious clothes and had an impressive appearance. Every movement these people made exuded a frightening martial aura. All of them had at least entered martial chi level 3. Nine Knights Dynasty. Ouyang family's eldest daughter, Ouyang Qian. After seeing the leading girl, a cold glint flickered in Yi Qingtang's eyes. The Ouyang clan was the #1 family clan in Nine Knights Dynasty and was extremely influential. Ordinary family clans could not be compared to it. And even more than that, it was not weaker than super sects like Falling Sky Valley and Yunxiao sect. In Yi Qingtang's previous life, when she cultivated in Falling Sky Valley, she had crossed paths with the Ouyang family before. In Yi Qingtang's previous life, when she just met Ouyang Qian, she did not find anything bad about her. Moreover, Ouyang Qian cared for her, giving her a sense of warmth despite having been chased for her life by everyone. In return, she treated Ouyang Qian as her best friend. But Yi Qingtang never expected that Ouyang Qian had already discovered her heart of the demon god from a long time ago, and all her kindness was merely feigned civility while she harbored evil intentions. Ouyang Qian drugged her eventually, and if not for her eldest senior brother who rushed over in time, Yi Qingtang would have definitely died without a doubt. Ouyang Qian, I never thought that we would meet again. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips tugged up and formed into an evil smile. Seeing Yi Qingtang, a chill ran down the Blood Moon Elder's spine. Could it be that she wanted to do something again? Miss, this is only an ownerless mystic realm of a small sect. There's no need for us to risk rushing from the Nine Knights Dynasty to the Formidable Heavens Dynasty, right? A male from the Ouyang family looked at Ouyang Qian in confusion. After hearing that, a sneer appeared on Ouyang Qian's petite face. There's originally no need, but I don't know who let out news that there is an infant fiend celestial beast in this mystic realm, and I saw Falling Sky Valley disciples here as well. The news definitely is not fake. Miss, I also know about this news, but a fiend celestial beast is reproduced from the ancient era and possesses both the bloodline of celestial beasts as well as fiend beasts. Moreover, it is said to be an infant. I think it is not very possible. That may not be true. There's no smoke without fire. If the Ouyang family can obtain the fiend celestial beast, the people from the Ouyang family had their own opinions over the matter of the fiend celestial beast. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder exchanged a look, and a strange expression emerged in both their eyes. The supposed fiend celestial beast was merely a general term. It referred to the descendant of a fiend beast and a celestial beast from the ancient generation. Its bloodline was half celestial beast and half fiend beast, thus the name fiend celestial beast. People from older generations called it a slaughter weapon as its skills were extraordinary since birth. However, on this mainland where spirit energy was so thin, how would a fiend celestial beast exist and even appear in Xianling's sex mystic realm? Yi Qingtang was in deep thought. She had never heard of anyone who obtained a fiend celestial beast in her previous life. Holy Lady, there's actually a fiend celestial beast in this mystic realm? Why do I not believe it? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang. Not mentioning the Blood Moon Elder, even Yi Qingtang did not believe it as well. Regardless of whether a fiend celestial beast exists in the mystic realm, I will still enter the mystic realm. Yi Qingtang mumbled as she committed herself to her goal for this trip. Whether or not this mystic realm really had a fiend celestial beast had nothing to do with Yi Qingtang. Her goal of entering the mystic realm was only to obtain the Black Heaven Water. Look! Suddenly, a male from the Ouyang family pointed at the Blood Moon Elder not far away. After hearing that, everyone from the Ouyang family, including Ouyang Qian, looked at the Blood Moon Elder, who was dressed gorgeously. The girls from this formidable Heavens dynasty are really ugly, that male from the Ouyang family said with a frown, clearly shocked by the Blood Moon Elder's face that was as fair as a flower. The fact there was actually such a hideous girl on this world completely shook up his outlooks. The Blood Moon Sect Elder. Then you are ugly. All your ancestors are ugly. The other people from the Ouyang family snickered as well. Even though they did not say anything further, the sarcasm and laughter in their eyes evidently expressed their feelings. Before long, the Ouyang family members looked away and walked into the mountain forest directly. Holy Lady, how about I change a disguise? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang pleadingly. However, Yi Qingtang waved a hand casually and sized up the Blood Moon Elder's appearance with a smile in her eyes. A dignified Blood Moon Sex Elder has already surpassed ordinary humans. Why do you care about how other ordinary people view you? I think you are very pretty. Pretty. The Blood Moon Elder's lips twitched. Holy Lady, you can't be really blind, can you? How weird is your aesthetic judgment for you to praise that without any change in your expression? The Blood Moon Elder tried to calm his emotions and finally spoke seriously. Holy Lady, you seem to have some grudge with that lady just now. The Blood Moon Elder asked that because he realized that there was a cold glint in Yi Qingtang's eyes when she looked at that above-average-looking lady earlier on. Indeed, Yi Qingtang admitted. So, do you want me? The Blood Moon Elder motioned, cutting his throat with his hand. Can you defeat her? Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder's expression froze immediately, and he no longer uttered a single word. That lady was probably at martial chi level 3. Given his current skills, he would only be pressed on the floor and pounded should he meet someone at martial chi level 3. Let's go. Yi Qingtang waved a hand and brought the Blood Moon Elder into the mountain forest. The mountain forest was enshrouded in an extremely strange energy fluctuation, such that one could even see the ripples undulating in the air with their naked eyes. After Xianling's sect protecting a ray formation was broken, the mystic realm eventually landed in this mountain forest. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder had just entered the place, but furious scoldings and clashes of metal reverberated throughout. Holy Lady, someone is in a fight. The Blood Moon Elder immediately said after hearing the sound. I'm not deaf. Yi Qingtang swept the Blood Moon Elder a look and said rather indifferently. The Blood Moon Elder could only keep his mouth shut and not say another word of crap. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder walked in the direction of the fighting sound and quickly realized that the source of the sound was from a large-scale battle between forces from the formidable Heavens Dynasty and the Nine Knights Dynasty. Before entering the Mystic Realm, both forces had already suffered heavy casualties from the battle. The two dynasties were originally eternal enemies, and there had been countless minor and major battles. This enmity had long sunk deep into the bones. As long as the forces from both dynasties met, they would definitely fight, and there would naturally be deaths. Apart from the battle between the super sects of the formidable Heavens Dynasty and Nine Knights Dynasty, internal conflicts rapidly erupted among various sects as well. Half a day later, the large-scale battle finally calmed down gradually until everyone got along in peace. Everyone was aware that without the restraint of the sect's heritage, the level of danger of the mystic realm would multiply by 10 times and more from before. The casualties were already so serious before they entered. Once the mental demons really started, how were they to contend for the fiend celestial beast within the mystic realm? The super sects from the two dynasties were not fools. After a long battle, they finally stopped. Eventually, the members of super sects from formidable Heavens Dynasty and Nine Knights Dynasty laid a rule to temporarily get along together in peace before entering the mystic realm and to drive away everyone else other than members of a sect who were only allowed to enter the mystic realm. Everyone found this mystic realm because of the news of a fiend celestial beast. The greater the number of people, the smaller the hope of obtaining it. As such, the forces from both dynasties finally cleared the place together. Apart from the sect forces, those family clans and itinerant cultivators were all chased away. Meanwhile, ordinary sects like Wind Moon Sect and Qinglin Sect that were weaker than super sects still reserved the right to enter the mystic realm. After all, this mystic realm no longer had an owner, and it had escaped the suppression of the sect's heritage. As for how dangerous it was, no one could be sure, so leaving a few small sects here would help them to have a grasp. Wind Moon Sect and Qinglin Sect were aware of those super sects' thoughts, but did not care about it. Once they entered the mystic realm, everyone would try for all they are worth. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Perhaps the fiend celestial beast would be obtained by them. If they could obtain the fiend celestial beast, small sects like Wind Moon Sect and Qinglin Sect could override super sects based on the combat ability of the fiend celestial beast. Although Yunxiao Sect's sect protecting divine beast was extremely powerful and unparalleled, it paled in comparison with a fiend celestial beast. From afar, Yi Qingtang laughed coldly in her heart as she watched the sects conceive sinister motives. Those sects' forces were truly indulged in the wildest fantasy, not mentioning whether a fiend celestial beast actually existed in the mystic realm. But if a fiend celestial beast truly existed, did these people really think they could tame it easily given its combat ability? They were simply making a fool out of themselves. At Yi Qingtang's peak in her past life, she was at the level of a paragon and could easily destroy a dynasty with thousands of years of inheritance with the flick of a finger. In her eyes, a yin-yang true lord was like an ant, and even powerful figures above the yin-yang true lord were required to give her a full bow and address her as Paragon Senior when they saw Yi Qingtang. Even so, Yi Qingtang still had to take a detour when she saw a fiend celestial beast at her peak, as there was no way she could enter a direct confrontation with it head-on. Yet, those super sects actually wishfully thought that they could tame a fiend celestial beast? It was simply a fantasy where the ignorant had no fears. You! At that instant, a Yunxiao Sect intersect disciple approached them speedily and sized up Yi Qingtang. Which sect are you from? Although Yi Qingtang was listed in the assassination roll, and her reward greatly surpassed that of the number one person, the alluring teenage girl had transformed into a beautiful, young gentleman with a devilish charm after the disguise. As a result, the Yunxiao Sect disciple could not recognize her. am not in a sect or a clan, just an itinerant, Yi Qingtang said gently with a smile. Leave, otherwise you'll be killed. After hearing that Yi Qingtang was an itinerant cultivator, the Yinshao sect disciple shouted sternly. The place was already controlled by the forces of the two dynasties, and itinerant cultivators were not allowed to enter. Before the Blood Moon Elder could reprimand, Yi Qingtang stopped him and smiled to the Yinshao sect disciple. He'll leave now. Afterward, she turned around and left with the Blood Moon Elder. Holy Lady, why did you do that? The Blood Moon Elder could not understand. They could perfectly barge in forcefully. Should they leave so sullenly just because the forces of both dynasties control the area? Yi Qingtang's lips curled into a sinister smile. This place is no longer suppressed by Xianling sect's heritage and is already uncontrollable. It's impossible for us to know how dangerous it is. Why not let those super sects explore and find a path for us then? By doing this, the risks would be greatly reduced. After hearing Yi Qingtang, the Blood Moon Elder's eyes flickered as he applauded and praised. Ingenious. It's really ingenious. Holy Lady, that's truly a wise move. The super sex forces of both dynasties treated ordinary sects as their cannon fodder and wanted to make the ordinary sects explore for them. On the other hand, Yi Qingtang was calculating to let the super sects help her and have the Blood Moon Elder find a path. After they entered the mystic realm and overcome the dangers, we will follow in at the end and reap the profits without doing anything. Isn't that better? Yi Qingtang smiled. Holy lattice words are more enlightening than studying for 1,000 years. It is the honor of 3 lives to be able to follow beside you. Holy Lady. Flattery filled the Blood Moon Elder's face. Yi Qingtang looked at his sucking up skills from a whole new light. It was not about how his face changed so quickly, but instead about how Yi Qingtang's identity, which directly weighed on him. A holy lady personally handpicked by the Holy Lord versus an elder. No matter how bold he was, he no longer dared to be disrespectful to Yi Qingtang. Otherwise, should Yi Qingtang complain to the Holy Lord, he probably would not even know how he died. Just based on this sentence from you, I've decided to bestow you a big present after entering the mystic realm. As Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder, who was increasingly full of flattery, cunningness filled her eyes. The Blood Moon Elder did not realize the cunning look in Yi Qingtang's eyes and was instead full of bliss. He was extremely expectant as he wondered what the so-called big present that the Holy Lady said would be. It had been 3 entire days in this deep forest, and the forces from both Formidable Heaven's dynasty and Nine Nights dynasty lived together in harmony. The battles between small sects were forbidden as well. The danger of the mystic realm was unpredictable, and the super sects still relied on those ordinary sects to be their cannon fodder and find out how dangerous it is for them. The super sects of both dynasties did not wish to see the small sects suffer heavy casualties because of their conflicts before even entering the mystic realm. Meanwhile, for 3 whole days, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder hid in a dark corner of the forest and concealed their breaths, deliberately restraining their aura. After all, the Blood Moon Elder was an elder of the Blood Moon sect, and Yi Qingtang was once a noble paragon in her previous life. Thus, concealing their breaths was very easy to do. Over the 3 days, Yi Qingtang secretly inspected the situation. Yinshao sect had deployed a large number of core disciples. Apart from Yi Yu, there were a number of people whose martial aura was not any weaker than Yi Yu's. As for Falling Sky Valley, there were many disciples including Ji Xuan and Mo Changkong. From all these forces, Yi Qingtang saw many familiar faces from her past life. Currently, there were a few sect disciples guarding the entrance of the mystic realm. 2 of them had already entered the first heaven of Martial Qi Level 3, while the remaining disciples were inner sect disciples from Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect. Holy Lady, we should enter already, the Blood Moon Elder said. After hearing him, Yi Qingtang smiled faintly. There's no hurry. The powerful figures of both Formidable Heavens Dynasty and Nine Nights Dynasty had just entered the mystic realm, and if Yi Qingtang entered right now, she would only meet them coincidentally, and it would be difficult to get away then. This wait lasted 2 days. The disciples from Yunxiao sect, Qinglin sect, and Wenmoon sect were considerably loyal as they guarded at their posts at all times without slacking off. Early dawn, Yi Qingtang shot the Blood Moon Elder a look and slowly walked out from the hidden corner with the Blood Moon Elder. They appeared before everyone and walked towards the entrance of the mystic realm. At that moment, the sect disciples guarding at the area saw an extraordinarily handsome young sir with an extremely hideous-looking woman in a floral dress who had a big red flower on her head. "Stop there!" A young disciple from Wind Moon sect immediately stepped forward and shouted. "Who's there?" A faint smile hung on Yi Qingtang's lips as she replied softly, "An itinerant cultivator." Afterward, she pointed to the Blood Moon Elder behind and said, "While this beautiful lady is my servant." "Be beautiful." After hearing Yi Qingtang's words, the disciples, including both Yunxiao sect disciples, almost vomited. This male had such an outstanding appearance, yet no one dared to compliment his aesthetic judgment. Could his eyes be blind? The servant behind him is frighteningly scary, yet he called her beautiful. Looking at the reaction of those sect disciples, the Blood Moon Elder wanted to say something, but was ultimately unable to utter a single word. "This place is already sealed. Foreign people are not allowed to enter. Leave this place, or you'll be killed," a Yunxiao sect disciple said coldly with an imposing stance. "Does this road belong to your family? Can a sect be so arrogant?" Yi Qingtang smiled, then tried taking a step forward. The Yunxiao sect disciple remained silent as he sized up Yi Qingtang and scoffed. Then, Yi Qingtang exchanged a look with the Blood Moon Elder. Subsequently, with smiles on her face, her legs moved, and she indeed took a step forward. At that moment, the faces of all the sect's disciples darkened. This person's action is clearly challenging a sect's authority. "You have a death wish," a Yunxiao sect disciple hollered furiously. He raised his right arm in the air and smashed a hand towards Yi Qingtang. Immediately, the aura of a first heaven of martial qi level 3 filled the air as a strong wind stirred up from the force of his smash. Sensing the frightening aura of the Yunxiao sect inner sect disciple, the expressions of the Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect disciples changed, and horror filled their faces. Martial Qi Level 3 was already listed as a powerful figure in the martial Dao, and they could easily crush anyone with just one finger. The two sects disciples could not help but shake their heads. The moment that itinerant cultivator, who did not belong to any sects or clans, took that step forward and challenged the sect's authority, he was already a dead man. "You have a death wish." Seeing that the Yunxiao sect disciple stroke, a cold glint flashed across Yi Qingtang's eyes. At the same time, a blood-colored sword shadow streaked across the sky with a clank. As Yi Qingtang's demonic blood sword was unsheathed, the two Yunxiao sect disciples were slaughtered in an instant and died on the spot. "Holy Lady is indeed powerful. I admire you extremely. Being able to follow beside you is truly my blessing." The Blood Moon Elder was stopped by Yi Qingtang before he even finished bootlicking. All he had been saying were these few sentences for the past few days, and Yi Qingtang's ears were about to rot. She was only this close to stuffing a piece of cloth in his mouth. The immediate deaths of the two Yunxiao sect disciples caught the Wind Moon sect and Qinglin sect disciples off guard. At that instant, the disciples from two sects were completely dumbfounded as they looked at Yi Qingtang with eyes popped wide open. Their minds were blank, as though they had completely lost the ability to think. The two who died were both Yunxiao sect disciples who had entered martial qi level 3 a long time ago and were very powerful. However, an itinerant cultivator who came from nowhere slaughtered both of them with just one slash. Given Yi Qingtang's current skills, when she used all her cards, There was no worry as long as she did not encounter anyone at second heaven of Martial Chi level 3. Currently, ordinary first heaven of Martial Chi level 3 cultivators were not worth a mention to Yi Qingtang. Have you seen enough? Yi Qingtang's eyes swept across the dumbfounded Wind Moon sect and Qinglin's sect disciples as she spoke with a seeming smile. Her slightly curled lips added a devilish charm to her attractive face. Mercy! With just a glimpse from Yi Qingtang, the sect's disciples felt a chill in their bones as though their entire body had fallen into an ice house. Powerful first heaven of Martial Chi level 3 cultivators were killed by this nameless itinerant cultivator with one slash. In their eyes, how different were ordinary disciples like them from ants. Strip your clothes, Yi Qingtang said coldly and looked at those sect's disciples with a slightly lifted chin. The disciples were dumbfounded for a few seconds. Right after, horror filled their faces as they looked at Yi Qingtang in disbelief. Strip our clothes? Could this person be homosexual? Even the Blood Moon Elder could not help but dart a look at Yi Qingtang. Isn't this a little? He really did not think that his holy lady would actually be so thirsty. Stripping 2 sets is enough. Faster. Yi Qingtang gradually lost her patience, and her brows were slightly furrowed. However, this frown sent a chill down the spines of those sect's disciples. The disciples exchanged a look, and one of them pointed to another. You'll strip. Don't you like men? You'll strip. The disciple who was being pointed at was ashamed and resentful. He looked up at Yi Qingtang's incomparably handsome face, and the indignant expression on his face turned into a thought-provoking shyness. Yi Qingtang looked at him blankly. She merely wanted the clothes of the disciples so that it would be easier to pass off as other sect's disciples when she entered the mystic realm. Could it be that these 2 sect's disciples thought wrongly and mistook that she, sometime later, Yi Qingtang finally obtained the clothes of the disciples? After wearing it, she leaped into the screen with the Blood Moon Elder, leaving those disarrayed disciples from the 2 sects behind. There was a space realm in the screen, and the interior was like a mysterious tunnel representing the very intersection of time and space. One would not be able to feel the passing of time, much less the undulation in the space. No one knew exactly how much time had passed. Each moment was like the blink of an eye, yet also resembling centuries. Once Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder returned to their senses, both of them were already at a certain small city in the mystic realm. It was already night. A blood-colored crescent hung on the sky. Its gleam shone through the clouds and completely enshrouded the entire city. There was a slight smell of blood lingering around, as though it had long been combined with the air. 2 extremely strange and ghastly buildings were situated at both sides of the city, while an enormous central square laid right ahead. Many sculptures stood in the square silently. One of the sculptures was made with an unknown material, but its form and appearance were very solemn and righteous, resembling a Buddha that seemed to be able to suppress all evil in the world. Reaching a height of about 10 meters tall, that sculpture with a Buddha face was lifelike and raised a huge vajra in its hands. Find authorized novels in Web Novel Faster Updates. Better experience, please click for visiting. However, the skull of an elderly was hung on that vajra, and the neck that was slit was filled with dried blood. The elderly's mouth was wide open, and horror filled his turbid eyes. It was as though he had witnessed the frightening birth of something that should not exist. That person seems to be an elder of Lingyun's sect. The Blood Moon Elder frowned as he inspected for a long time before speaking to Yi Qingtang. Previously, Yi Qingtang had already seen the appearance of Yuehua's sect and Lingyun's sect, and it was indeed an elder of a super sect whose martial skills were at least above the second heaven of Martial Chi level 3. This person's skills are not bad, but he actually died here. Other than his head, his body is nowhere to be found. An inauspicious feeling arose in the Blood Moon Elder's heart. Every corner of this city felt strange, and it felt like one could see but not physically touch anything here. It's actually Yi Qingtang's body shuddered slightly, and surprise emerged in her eyes. Hell of a Visanaraka realm. Hell of a Visanaraka realm? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in puzzlement. It said that Xianling Sect's mystic realm was a miniature version of a battlefield in the ancient era in a spiritual abode. It was then brought back by the then Xianling Patriarch, who suppressed it with a paragon divine treasure. After thousands of years of suppression, the demonic air was released and developed into many huge mystic realms. There was a hint of seriousness on Yi Qingtang's face as she explained. In the past, the mystic realms that Xianling Sect started were ordinary mystic realms, and the danger levels to normal sect disciples was at most only level 4 if the maximum level was 100. The ordinary mystic realms would not exceed danger level 5. Seeming to hear the meaning between Yi Qingtang's words, the Blood Moon Elder slowly said, "So this mystic realm is 100-level peril. Hell of Avisanaraka." In the dark night, a gust of eerie wind blew across, sending a chill down the spines of Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder at the same time. If Yi Qingtang knew that the mystic realm without the suppression of the sect's heritage would actually become a 100-level peril hell of Avisanaraka, she would definitely not enter. Even if it meant giving up the Black Heaven water, Yi Qingtang would never take the risk to enter here. The so-called 100-level peril was the scariest and most dangerous place in a sect mystic realm. For a normal danger level 5 mystic realm, if 10 Xianling sect disciples entered, at least 3 or 4 people would die in it. It was already extremely difficult for 2 to 3 people to walk out alive from a mystic realm that surpassed danger level 6. If one was unlucky enough to enter a danger level 10 mystic realm, he or she did not need to struggle and only needed to wait for death. Yet currently, the hell of Avisanaraka belonged to a 100-level peril mystic realm. Even if you were a son of heaven, you would eventually turn into ashes and sink in here eternally. Although ordinary sects could not be compared to the super sects of Formidable Heaven's Dynasty and Nine Nights Dynasty, it would be difficult if they wished to leave this place alive after entering this 100-level peril hell. This time, no one knew how many people could leave the hell of Avisanaraka alive. In Yi Qingtang's case, she had already entered the third heaven of Martial Chi Level 2 and possessed the ultimate origin skill. Her combat skill was similar to that of a disciple at the peak of the first heaven of Martial Chi Level 3. Yet despite so, she did not dare to say that she could leave this place alive. "I've heard some things about that Xianling Patriarch." The Blood Moon Elder continued on. 2,000 years ago, the Xianling Patriarch trained all over the world and rescued a powerful figure who was heavily injured. Afterward, he brought that powerful figure back to his residence to treat her. However, that powerful figure's body was already extremely dilapidated, and she only had half a heart left. In the end, she died miserably. However, after that powerful figure died, her body turned into a crystal. After another 1,000 years, the Xianling Patriarch founded Xianling Sect and suppressed that crystal within the sect, and that crystal morphed into a small world, which is the mystic realm that we are in. Yi Qingtang did not refute him. Once a cultivator was powerful enough and reached a certain level, a spiritual abode would form in his or her body. Every spiritual abode was unique. In their lifetimes, those powerful figures would store the treasures they obtained in the spiritual abode in their bodies. After those powerful figures died, the spiritual abodes, however, would not be destroyed. Some of them became mystic realms, while others became a dangerous land which was listed as forbidden ground. On the other hand, some spiritual abodes turned into blessed grotto heavens with countless destinies. Although the powerful figure that the Xianling Patriarch rescued back then ultimately died, her spiritual abode was not destroyed and turned into a crystal, which was the current Xianling sect mystic realm. In Yi Qingtang's previous life, a spiritual abode was also formed in her body when she was at her peak. Most of the powerful figures with spiritual abodes in their bodies would destroy the spiritual abodes if they died a natural death, unwilling to leave their own heritage to be inherited by the future generations. Only those powerful figures who died tragically due to an unexpected calamity did not have time to destroy the spiritual abode in their bodies before their death. Thus, there were numerous accounts of the appearance of a powerful figure's inheritance in this world. At this instant, Yi Qingtang was walking to the central square in great strides. The closer she got, the more intense the smell of blood became. However, Yi Qingtang's brows were tightly furrowed as she scanned the surroundings. Apart from the skull of the Lingyun sect elder hung on the sculpture's sword, no other corpses could be seen. Holy Lady, I can smell that many people died here not long ago. Even the smell of blood is fresh. It's not more than a day, the Blood Moon Elder said. Not more than a day. Yi Qingtang's expression was increasingly heavy. This place was extremely strange. All of the corpses of those who died had disappeared. Even if they were slaughtered or swallowed by evil spirits, there should still be some flesh and traces left behind. But observing the area, apart from the skull of a super sex elder, nothing else could be seen. What exactly happened? Yi Qingtang's heart was extremely uneasy. It was a pity that it was already difficult to regret and leave after entering the mystic realm. If there was a chance to leave this place now, Yi Qingtang would definitely not hesitate at all and leave instantly. Holy Lady, what should we do now? The Blood Moon Elder was anxious as well. The Blood Sect Elder had entered quite a number of mystic realms before, but had never heard of Xianling Sect's 100-level peril hell of Avicenaraka. In addition, his skills were also insufficient, and he had no solutions to speak of. Yi Qingtang was also unclear of what they should do now. The development of events had surpassed her predictions by a far lot, and was headed towards an uncontrollable stage. Currently, Yi Qingtang hoped for neither destinies nor the Black Heaven Water. She only hoped to be able to protect her own life. We'll take one step at a time. Once a mystic realm starts, it will sustain for about half a month. As long as we can bear through half a month, we can leave, Yi Qingtang said. Since that's the case, the Blood Moon Elder scanned the strange buildings and their surroundings and said, Holy Lady, let's just find a random house in this city and live in it. It's only half a month. It will pass in the blink of an eye. Yi Qingtang pinched her glabella upon hearing him. Why did such an idiot appear by her side? This was a 100-level peril mystic realm. How could one be able to survive just by hiding? If they really did what the Blood Moon Elder said, both of them would probably not live more than half a month. After seeing Yi Qingtang's unfathomable expression, the Blood Moon Elder was just about to defend himself. But strange noises sounded from the central square. From what they saw, the strange sounds came from the solemn Buddha statue. As Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder took a close look, that Buddha statue suddenly opened a pair of angry eyes. Right on the heels of that, a creepy sight appeared. The Buddha statue moved its vajra, and in the next second, the skull of that Lingyun sect elder was in its hands. It glared at the skull furiously for a few seconds and subsequently tossed that skull into its mouth without any hesitation, slowly chewing it. Luckily, the people who experienced this were Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. One of them was a mighty paragon in her past life, while the other was an elder of the evil Blood Moon sect. If it were others, they would have been so horrified to the point that their souls left their bodies or that they could even spit out their gallbladder. The freakish chewing sound was mixed with the sound of crushed bones. Stale blood slowly seeped out of the Buddha statue's mouth in the next second. The pair of enraged eyes suddenly looked towards Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. Roar! A horrifying roar exploded from its mouth. Yi Qingtang could even faintly see the minced flesh and hair between the gaps of the Buddha statue's teeth. Hiss! Yi Qingtang gasped immediately. Run! Yi Qingtang fled without saying any other nonsense. The Buddha statue exuded a strange air, which was extremely frightening. If she fought, it was without a doubt that she would die. Find authorized novels in Web Novel Faster Updates. Better experience, please click for visiting. Holy lady, what's so scary about this? It's just an evil creature. In my peak thousands of years ago, evil creatures like this did not dare to be so impudent before me. Pride filled the Blood Moon Elder's face. He just spoke but realized that Yi Qingtang had already escaped without a trace. Roar! Instantly, the Buddha statue's furious eyes landed on the Blood Moon Elder. Holy lady, wait for me! Holy lady! After being sized up by the Buddha statue, the Blood Moon Elder fled without uttering any more crap. Although he did not lie, that was 1,000 years ago after all. Currently, it was still more dependable to be more realistic. However, the sinister laughter of the Buddha statue reverberated throughout the entire small city like a demonic voice that was impossible to get rid of. Every nook and cranny seemed to have that terrifying sinister laughter that caused one's scalp to tingle. Chapter 5, 73 Hell of Avicenaraka. 4. Seeing the two people escape, the Buddha statue finally moved its legs. Boom! Boom, boom! Boom, boom, boom! The entire city rocked with every step the Buddha statue took as it chased after Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. Those tall, strange buildings crumbled into nothingness in succession under the heartless trampling of the Buddha statue. Shattering sounds rang repeatedly. At that moment, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder had already fled to thousands of meters away. However, that Buddha statue was very fast as well. In just a while, the distance between it and Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder was already less than 100 meters. The sinister laughs behind caused one's blood to run cold. An extremely intense smell of death filled this small city that was enshrouded by the blood-colored moonlight. Even Yi Qingtang was completely drenched in cold sweat. The Buddha statue at the back was already probably consumed with desire. Perhaps the monsters produced in this hell of Avicenaraka devoured any living things. At this moment, the Vajra in the Buddha statue's hand was thrown at Yi Qingtang. Swoosh! A piercing sound resounded throughout the entire place. The Vajra was extremely fast and had a powerful force. Yi Qingtang's brows were tightly furrowed as she felt the evil force surging towards her like a flood from a burst dam. Holy lady! Careful! The Blood Moon Elder shouted, alarmed. Immediately, Yi Qingtang unsheathed the demonic blood sword without thinking. All the Blood Moon Elder saw was the demonic blood sword in Yi Qingtang's hand slashing at the huge Vajra. Boom! There was a deafening rumble. The demonic blood sword and the Vajra clashed for a second and separated. Yi Qingtang's complexion paled from that one clash, and the qi and blood in her body surged. She retreated back multiple steps. Thankfully, the Blood Moon Elder's eyes and hands were quick, and he caught Yi Qingtang, which finally steadied her body. Yi Qingtang's eyes were cold while the arm that wielded the sword trembled slightly. Fresh blood dripped down from where she held the sword. Holy lady, you're injured. The Blood Moon Elder was rather frantic to see Yi Qingtang's injury. After all, this mystic realm was of 100-level peril. Not mentioning Yi Qingtang, even the powerful elder of Lingyun's sect died, having his skull completely consumed by that Buddha statue. Seeing that Yi Qingtang was injured, the Buddha statue's angry eyes landed on her as the statue let out an extremely sinister laugh. The Buddha statue's right arm slowly reached into its chest and took out another head. That is, Yi Qingtang was appalled. Li Chunfeng, the Blood Moon Elder, yelled in fear. Didn't the head that the Buddha statue held onto right now belong to the youngest internal affairs elder of Yinshao sect, Li Chunfeng? The pair of furious eyes met with Yi Qingtang's eyes. The Buddha statue slowly placed Li Chunfeng's skull into its mouth and gently chewed on it. Strange sounds could be heard as fresh blood and minced flesh flowed out of its lips. Run! Suddenly awoken, Yi Qingtang grabbed the Blood Moon Elder, who was still rooted to the ground, dumbstruck, and fled out of the city. The scariness of that Buddha statue was already beyond logical. So powerful was it that it raised one's hackles. Every corner of this blood-colored city was creepy and ghastly. The acrid smell of blood in the air intensified gradually. Yi Qingtang brought the Blood Moon Elder and rapidly fled to a corner of a street. There was absolutely no life in the blood-colored city. The air of death lingered at every inch of the place, as though the tragic torture of the underworld once existed, and it seemed as if everyone was dyed with blood and as if resentment filled the sky. While this was a land of evil spirits, even the Blood Moon Elder was unwilling to stay any longer. Yi Qingtang scanned the surroundings with a deep frown. Without a doubt, the place was a completely dead city with no presence of life and only an utter coldness. The hell of Avicenaraka here was said to simulate the ancient battlefield back then. Tens of thousands of years ago, the fourth domain still existed in this world. However, that mysterious fourth domain disappeared in a night. The fourth domain included hundreds of mainlands without any living beings. There were once rumors that perfected immortals and Buddhas appeared on the vanished fourth domain before. Their teachings once disseminated to every corner of the world. But as the fourth domain mysteriously disappeared, all the legends regarding immortals and Buddhas subsequently vanished like smoke in the air as well. Could there really be immortals and Buddhas in this world? Yi Qingtang was shaken. After hearing Yi Qingtang, the Blood Moon Elder was in deep thought. My holy lord once brought back a piece of an ancient stone tablet, which was said to be left behind by the powerful figure whom the Xianling patriarch saved back then. The contents on the stone tablet are a little similar to the scene today where the Buddha consumed people alive and chewed on flesh. Could it be that the person whom the Xianling patriarch saved back then knows about the secret of the fourth domain that disappeared years ago? She ultimately sealed everything she saw and heard in her own spiritual abode. After that powerful figure died, the spiritual abode turned into a mystic realm, while everything she sealed back then became the hell of Avicenaraka today. Yi Qingtang said, "Holy Lady, I think there is a high possibility for that. When a spiritual abode becomes a mystic realm or a dangerous land, most of them were related to the things they heard and saw, or their obsession and resentment. The spiritual abode of those with deep resentment would turn into a dangerous land, while the spiritual abode of loyal and righteous people would turn into a blessed grotto heaven to benefit others. On the other hand, when some powerful figures died, their spiritual abodes would turn into the scene that they once imagined during their lifetime, just like this hell of Avicenaraka." The Blood Moon Elder seemed to be in thought. Speaking in another way, the powerful figure whom the Xianling patriarch rescued should know some secrets behind the disappearance of the fourth domain and stored whatever she saw and thought in her spiritual abode. When that powerful figure died, the spiritual abode turned into a mystic realm, which was the 100-level peril hell of Avicenaraka. True gods indeed existed in this world. Everyone knew that the supposed perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas only appeared in the fourth domain that mysteriously disappeared tens of thousands of years ago. Hence, Yi Qingtang was certain that the evil monsters and demonic spirits here should be what that dead powerful figure saw and heard in the fourth domain. So perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas were not only legends and truly existed tens of thousands of years ago. But why is it that all of them have completely vanished today despite being so powerful? How did that mysterious and powerful fourth domain disappear? It's said that the ancient Buddhas and perfected immortals were extraordinary existences, and that their teachings delivered all living creatures from suffering and was full of compassion. However, in this hell of Avicenaraka, the Buddha became a monster that consumed living things. What exactly? Yi Qingtang mumbled as puzzlement filled her eyes. Chapter 575 Immortals and Buddhas 2. After becoming a paragon in her previous life, she had heard myths about the ancient era of which immortals and Buddhas once appeared. Perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas existed in that mysterious fourth domain, which had completely disappeared now. Thus, many did not know what immortals and Buddhas were. Yi Qingdang was extremely curious about what exactly happened to the mysterious fourth domain that caused billions of life to be exterminated and immortals and Buddhas to perish. Until now, the fourth domain did not exist. Yi Qingdang had an extremely deep interest in the fourth domain since her previous life, and she had even studied the disappearance of the perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas for a period of time. It was, however, that people were chasing after her life, and she did not have many chances to study it deeply. Thus, she achieved nothing. Roar! Suddenly, a roar resembling that of a fierce beast pulled Yi Qingdang back to reality. The Buddha statue was already near them. Like a towering giant, it walked in the blood-colored city in search of Yi Qingdang and the Blood Moon Elder. Then, Yi Qingdang brought the Blood Moon Elder into a slightly more ordinary house without any hesitation. The most pressing matter of the moment was to avoid being killed by the Buddha statue. Given Yi Qingdang's and the Blood Moon Elder's skills, there was no way they could be compared to that Buddha statue that had sunk into the demonic path. As long as they fought with the Buddha statue, there was no chance of winning, and both of them had to be prepared to be swallowed anytime. After they hid in the house, the Buddha statue's sinister laughter finally receded. There was a deep well outside the courtyard, but it had long dried. There were many withered plants in their surroundings. Taking a close look, it was an extremely run-down house. It's truly mysterious. Curiosity was etched on the Blood Moon Elder's face. Something unimaginable seemed to have happened to the fourth domain on the night it disappeared. It's as though the perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas had once entered a tragic battle with some unknown entities. Is that possible? Yi Qingdang shook her head in disagreement to the Blood Moon Elder's words. The perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas never aged nor died, and they had the same longevity as the world. They had long turned into a part of the laws of powers. As long as the universe was not destroyed, the perfected immortals and ancient Buddhas would not die. Presently, the powerful figures at the emperor level were invincible and unrivaled. Even the owner of the heart of the demon god in her body, the demon god, had to bow in respect when he met the ancient Buddhas and perfected immortals. That level had long surpassed secularity and turned into a part of Tao. How could demon god, fiend honor, and human emperor be compared to them? But such a powerful fourth domain, including those immortals and Buddhas who once discussed Tao with saints and stood shoulder to shoulder with the heaven, perished just like that. Yi Qingdang felt that she was too weak. Even if she reached the paragon level in her previous life, she did not have the qualifications to peer into the secrets of the fourth domain and much less figure out the reason behind the fall of the immortals and Buddhas. Currently, Yi Qingdang increasingly thought that this world was perhaps not like what she imagined or saw. Living in this mainland was forever like living at the bottom of the well. Everything she could see or touch was merely the tip of the iceberg. Those secrets of the mythical era were innumerable, and each of them was like a treasure that attracted many to continuously explore. Yi Qingdang quietly swore to herself that one day, when she was powerful enough to see the truth of this world, she would find out the reason behind the disappearance of the fourth domain and the fall of those immortals and Buddhas. The night was silent. The blood moon hanging in the dark sky was increasingly blinding. The sinister laughter of the Buddha statue had completely faded away and was nowhere near them. It was at that moment when Yi Qingdang and the Blood Moon Elder finally sighed in relief. "Holy Lady, look!" Suddenly, the Blood Moon Elder pointed at the deep well not far away. Yi Qingdang looked in the direction that the Blood Moon Elder was pointing at, and surprise emerged in her eyes. There was faint energy turbulence of an array formation from the pitch-dark well. Yi Qingdang walked towards the well. After a while, Yi Qingdang stood beside the well with a slight frown. The well had already dried, but there was a simple black box at the bottom of it. This well is protected by an array formation. Could it be that it's to protect this small box? Yi Qingtang was in thought. Once a spiritual abode was formed in the bodies of supreme figures. It was similar to an independent interspatial world, and a space ring was no longer needed. All the treasures obtained during their lifetime would be stored in the spiritual abode. Once the extremely powerful figures died and their spiritual abode turned into a mystic realm, their treasures would be stranded in the mystic realm and become a certain destiny. This small black box should be one of the treasures stored in the spiritual abode of that supreme figure. Delight emerged in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Yi Qingtang initially wanted to enter the well and retrieve the small box, but before she could get close to it, the power of the array formation caused her to retreat backward. Can this array formation be broken? Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder. Then, the Blood Moon Elder walked forward and inspected the well for a moment before nodding finally. Holy Lady, this array formation has already lost most of its powers. It is not difficult to break, but it would require some time. I'll leave it to you then. Yi Qingtang nodded. Without saying anything else, the Blood Moon Elder immediately started to break the array formation. After an hour later, the array formation protecting the deep well was finally broken by the Blood Moon Elder. As the array formation disappeared, Yi Qingtang swiftly retrieved the small box from the deep well. After opening the small box, she realized that it was an old talisman. What is this? Yi Qingtang inspected it closely, yet could not recognize it. The Blood Moon Elder inched forward as well. After looking at it, he shook his head and said, "This item does not seem like something produced from this era. The image on the talisman is extremely mysterious. It could be an array formation in a talisman, or it could be something else." Yi Qingtang was rather speechless. When did she require the Blood Moon Elder's reminder? But regardless of what this was, what was sealed in the talisman was definitely a consumable product that could only be used once. Yi Qingtang would absolutely not brashly use it just to test what item it was. Placing the talisman back into the small box, Yi Qingtang brought the Blood Moon Elder away. There were countless other similar houses in the blood-colored city. After gaining an item, Yi Qingtang naturally would not leave easily and search the other houses for some time. However, Yi Qingtang no longer saw any treasures protected by array formations this time. Such was a mystic realm. Everything was dependent on destinies, and not every house would have treasures sealed in the spiritual abode. Chapter 577 Danger 1. After searching a few houses and not finding anything, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder waited until dawn and left. There was not much difference between the day and night in the small city. The blood-colored glint still enshrouded over the city irrespective of the time. Throughout their journey, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder were extremely cautious and were on their guard, deeply afraid that they would encounter that frightening Buddhist statue again. About an hour later, the two people finally stopped outside the city gates. The human-consuming Buddha statue was right in the center of the city gates where they had to pass through. However, it had already turned into a statue. The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang rather uneasily. Both of them had already witnessed the skills of that Buddha statue. Once it discovered them, it would be difficult for them to escape again. Seeing that Yi Qingtang did not say anything, the Blood Moon Elder spoke. "Holy Lady, how about we take another route? Otherwise, if we alarm that evil creature, I'm afraid we will not have it easy." However, Yi Qingtang shook her head. There was only this one exit to this blood-colored city. If they did not pass through here, she would still not be able to fly out of this city even if she used her feather formation technique. There were unknown laws of powers in this city, which somehow restricted the ability for cultivators to be high up in the sky, and cultivators forced into the mystic realm could only travel by feet. There was indeed a high risk in exiting the city. As the Blood Moon Elder said, if they alarmed the Buddhist statue, the consequences would be dire. However, if they remained there, there were too many variables, and the dark night, especially, was extremely scary. Yi Qingtang did not dare to think whether even more frightening creatures would appear. At present, the two of them only had one route, which was to take a risk and leave the city. The risks were extremely high in the blood-colored city, and they could lose their lives in here anytime. Instead of that, why not risk their lives and take a chance? Go. Enchanting looked at the Blood Moon Elder and walked forward in great strides right after. Seeing that Enchanting was so decisive, the Blood Moon Elder could only pull a long face and follow behind Enchanting. When both of them passed by the Buddha statue, they deliberately slowed their breathing and walked lightly, afraid that a slight rough action would awaken the Buddha statue. They were still 10 meters away from the border of the city. Sleep longer. You must not wake up at this time. The Blood Moon Elder's eyes never left the Buddha statue. At this instant, they were only less than 5 meters away from the border of the city. Enchanting held her breath. Every step was like Ian's. 3 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter. Seeing the mountain valley outside the town, Enchanting finally heaved a sigh in relief. Holy Lady, this Buddha is looking at us. Suddenly, the Blood Moon Elder shouted in surprise. After hearing the Blood Moon Elder, Enchanting instinctively looked behind her. However, this action caused her to directly meet the eyes of the Buddha statue. The eyeballs of the Buddha statue slowly turned. A hint of banter emerged in that pair of angry eyes. Immediately, the Buddha statue let out a burst of sinister laughter that struck terror in hearts. In the next second, the Buddha statue raised the Vajra in its hands and fiercely smashed it towards the two people. Run! Enchanting's expression changed. Without thinking, Enchanting grabbed the Blood Moon Elder almost instinctively and sprinted out of the city. Boom! The Vajra caused the ground where both of them were standing at previously to be smashed into pieces. Even though they were only 1 meter away, they almost lost their lives. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.